Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be back before I left New Zealand. I've just got time to do a very, very quick one. I've pretty much got all the packing done. I am just about ready to roll. My flight is tomorrow. Just a few errands to run today. Last few bits to get before I'm up and away and in the air for approximately 26 hours. But total travel time was going to be into County Mayo in the west coast of Ireland from Dublin. Yeah, 35 hours, I guess, something like that. It's going to be right. Yeah, it's going to be in the area of about 35 hours traveling. Yeah, I've got that ahead of me. However, there are some things, as a certain famous man once said, there are more important things. There was, what did he say? Bob Paisley. What did Bob Paisley say? It's entirely on PC, me saying this at the moment, to be honest with you. But yeah, something about football being more important than life or death. And got to do the FPL. Let's get this out. It has been, to say the least, an interesting game week so far. If I was to do a quick summary of it, it would be 2 out of 3 ain't bad. When I did my sort of plan around game week 30, I generally put in place a 5-game week plan every 5 game weeks, and then I'll sort of review it and see how it's gone. This one isn't quite over yet, but I did put in a plan in place in 31, as I knew that there were assistant managers getting activated in 31, and there were obviously then going to be the doubles in 32 and 33 and the free hitters in 34, and I thought I am in huge trouble here. And the plan really was stick with the spreadsheet, trust in the process, know that I was probably going to drop to something like 200k, without having no chips and just having to play through. So it's just to sort of stay disciplined, stay calm, don't panic. And seriously, even though this game week, which is 34, as the free hitters came in, I have dropped from 33, where I somehow miraculously found myself in, I think about 52,000, wasn't it? I found myself dropped by 20,000 at this point in the game. Freaking take that, 75,000 is it? Let me just I'm looking at a teensy-weensy screen at the moment. Let me just bring up the larger one so I can actually read. 75,919. Seriously, couldn't be happier, even though that's a 20,000 rank drop this game week. But the thing is, as the famous line goes, it's not over yet. Still got 3 players to come. I think I could get very lucky again. Who knows? I might just get a run of luck. Hopefully they will get at least their 2 pointers, so I get over the 70 points. That in itself I'd have been happy with, especially when you consider this game week that we have just actually had. Absolutely insane when you think about it. The free hits are insane out there. As bad as everyone was about how the double game weeks went on the low scores, this week anyone that free hitted and played a sensible game is coming in with 80s, 90s. I've seen hundreds. I've seen much bigger than that. So to have just had to play through with a normal team, should hit the 70 plus, hopefully. In their famous last words, I've been in this position before and still not quite cracked the 70. But in theory, should hit the 70. Shouldn't drop anymore, and indeed could end up with a bit of a rise. I don't think I'm going to scrape the green, but stranger things have happened. Another 18 points from Mbumo, one from Wizza, Milenkovic. Don't mind him losing the clean sheet if that happens. If he gets his head on the end of one, because we know he's capable of that. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Absolutely stranger things have happened. In terms of the team. Yeah, I mean, again, I have had a bit of luck. Let's call a spade here. Just as of looking at Jose Sa's score there, I'm just actually reminded of something that I said in one of the videos when he was injured, and I was talking about should I take a hit, and then I decided I wasn't taking a hit, and I don't think these were my exact words, but they were fairly close. There's no point taking a hit for a goalkeeper. Actually, I decided, so I'm not going to do it. Because what's the point? It costs you 4 points, even if the keeper keeps a clean sheet. you've still only got an upside of 2, and you've actually wasted a valuable transfer that could be actually much more used further down the line. So the only way it could be of any use, taking a hit for a keeper, is if they kept a clean sheet and saved the penalty. Seriously? Jose Say, you're the man. Seriously, he's the game week saver in many respects, isn't he? With that 12-pointer. Other than that, Aint Nouri, yeah, it was definitely glad I had him. Absolutely, definitely glad I had him. Wood didn't do much for me in rank. So highly owned. There was over 1 million free hitters this week. That's absolutely insane. That is an absolute record breaker, and majority of them would have had Aint Nouri in the team. Milenkovic still to come. Konate, a bit disappointing, obviously. Liverpool coughed up that early goal and then went on to absolutely cruise it. So that is that, because Konate is definitely one of, as you can see on the names there, was one of the high influence players. So clean sheet from him, would have been really valuable. Probably worth 6, 7, 8,000 places. Is what it is. Bowen once again, and again, I'm reminded of prophetic Des. I said, I do expect West Ham will get a couple. I don't think they'll win, but I do actually think against that defence they'll get a couple of goals. And if West Ham score, Bowen's involved. 2 assists. Absolute legend. And Bremo to come. Salah, captain's armband on him was worth a little bit of a rank rise, I suppose. Would have certainly hurt me badly if I hadn't had the captain's armband on him. It was okay. Still don't think he's cooking, though. Conversations may be to be had there. Are there better midfield options at the moment? Is there possible Salah rotation now that they've won the league? It's going to be a tricky conversation. I think that's one that's going to be had by a few people, few managers, over the next week or two. We'll see. Barnes, again, we said, that someone, Barnes or Murphy, will get subbed. And I think it was Murphy that went off, but it was actually Murphy with the return. Barnes didn't get anything. It was a bit unlucky. As I said, I'll treat the Newcastle trio as a trio. I got over 2.5 games out of them. It was okay. The people, and there was a lot of them, went with the double Newcastle defence. They were the real winners there. If you had your Trippier, as you can say, Trippier again is in the threats. So that will have really hurt me. So I do have to think at some point who is going to leave the team, and I don't have the answer to that right now. At the moment, though, I know that all 3 are going to get good game time. One will have to go on the bench, I think, this coming game. We'll have a look at the team as it stands at the moment shortly. And of course, I've got Wizard to come, so, where there's life, there's hope. And as I say, I'm not overly unhappy with the 20k rank drop. It could have been much worse, especially given these, the insanity of these. If you look at my own, the free hit team that I did, if I was doing a free hit, that would have been there was some not so good choices in there. That was still cranking about 85 points. We'll have a look at Jason's free hit team before I finish this one. He's absolutely flying. We put his free hit team together. He's absolutely flying. He's actually cracked into the top 15,000 now. But yeah, it was a free hit week. I've got Wizard to come. I've got Mbomo. You just never know. I think a Greensby on me. We just don't know. I'm actually happy. I find myself well inside the top 100k. I can't actually see how that could drop any more with the Brentford Forest match. But yeah, I just the players that people would own would be Mbemo or Wizard, and those will be players that I think are going to be highly sought after this game week. Now, on that, just as things occur to me, we've had the cup matches, and I'm trying to work out, and there is no answer. Obviously, City won, and Crystal Palace won. Now, the noises I'm hearing, now how accurate this is I don't know, is that there may not be a double. That the way those games have fallen, and because of who it is, because it's Palace and City, it may be that those fixtures get moved into, that they actually might stay in the same game week, but get moved forwards into that game week instead of backwards. Whether that happens or not, but that's sort of just a little bit of noise that I'm actually hearing. So only advice I can give you on that is don't do any transfers if you can possibly avoid it, because I'm sure some of you are now coming out of your free hits and your team's kind of almost set up. You'll have a few Palace in there, you'll probably have a few City, etc. With the view that we could potentially have this double, so you've sort of set up a little bit going to 36, but we just don't know. And the noise I'm hearing, as I say, is that it might actually end up staying in the same game week and get moved just further into that game week, so it takes place after the FA Cup, as opposed to them having a midweek game before the FA Cup final. The only game that sounds like it could potentially be a double is Spurs and Aston Villa, and that's by no means different, and that's just because of Spurs' involvement in the nonny new weird lower tier, but they're desperate for a trophy European Cup thing. So they have actually put in a request to have their match moved, and again it depends where that's moved to, so keep an eye on that one. Just hang on to your transfers, hang on to your transfers until hopefully we get some sort of inkling by the end of the week where that is all going. Hope that was useful if you didn't already know it. What else can I tell you? Right, let's just have a little look just before I wrap up on where this game week is going. Right, so you can see as you can see in my graph, there's a little dip at the end there. I'm hoping that will move up a little bit, so there's no dip at all, or it's a very, very small dip. And as I say, any return, as you can see, my threats were Cunha, and yeah, was that a mistake? I don't. Only time will tell. If Wizard gets even a goal, then I think it moves into the not a mistake area, because Wizard definitely becomes the more desirable asset going on, certainly for the next game week. And who knows, I might bring Cunha in after that as I look at things. But there's no question about it, Cunha's the one that hurt me. And if any of you did have the captain's armband on him, absolutely magnificent, because if I had brought him in, I think I would have put the captain's armband on him, and it was really, really, really close. I was looking at Cunha, obviously, Wizard, or Evan-Nielsen, and I was hovering over both Cunha and Evan-Nielsen. I thought I might maybe just go with one of these. And Evan-Nielsen was because he had such a good fixture, and up against that United defence. And sure enough, I did say Semenyo would score. I did say it because of a United defensive mistake. Semenyo scored, and it was because of a defensive mistake by United. And it was lovely assist. It was Evan-Nielsen. Yeah, it was Evan-Nielsen with the assist. Lovely little assist. Then he got sent off. So lucky there. Unlucky that maybe I just didn't go with Cunha. But we don't know yet. Wizard could do the job, and he's got a fantastic fixture for next week. Diaz hurt me, obviously, and he was in my Cunha and Diaz were in my differential. Not go do Cunha or Diaz with that differential in the end. Yeah, Diaz, fabulous, got his goal. So quite a few of you, I think, had him. So that's fantastic. Palmer did his Palmer thing. Never tempted. So many worse. So many put him in. I really like Palmer. I think he's an amazing footballer. I'd love to know what's going on in his head at the moment, or is it the system? He's just not involved. He will not be coming near my Premiership team, my fantasy team, for the rest of the season. Even if he bagged a 3 or 4 goal haul next week, not going to go near him. There's something going on with that lad. I don't know if it's the system or what the hell it is. I hope he finds his way back next year, because I tell you what, if he's dropped to 9 million and he's just had a pre-season to get his head straight, but if he's dropped about 9 or 10 million, he will be the first name on my team sheet. Just not this year, and thankfully, because he would have hurt me if he had bagged. I'm sort of glad that he didn't. Sessegnon, which was an early pick of mine, and then everyone got onto it. Maybe it was that bloody obvious. Didn't even actually play for most of the match on the wing, but still managed to come up with a goal. And Trippier, yeah, bastard. Oh, that one killed me. Yeah, definitely was the double Newcastle. In the same way it was the triple Newcastle attack. Was a thing a couple of weeks ago, and I got the benefit of that. If you were on the double Newcastle defence and had the right players, you are flying this week. So yeah, influence Konate, which would have been a big influence. No good. Wizard, fingers crossed. Milinkovic, fingers crossed. Jose Sa, fantastic, and Bowen, fantastic. And just out of this chart here, it'd just be huge if he could get me something. Barnes was 69%, so shame he didn't do a bit better for me. But Mbemo 57%, so goal and assist from Mbemo would be huge, absolutely huge, absolutely massive. So keeping my collective fingers and toes crossed on that one. Okay, let's have a little look at next week. So that's where we're at. The next time you hear from me, and let's say I'm going, and once I get off that plane, it is going to be absolutely crazy for me. I hopefully will get on over the weekend, though, even if it's for half an hour or two. I do a quick final wash up, and that hopefully would be, in my ideal world, from a pub in Ireland with a pint of Guinness in my hand, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to need it. And at least I'll be able to watch the match at a humane hour. Always find a glass half full scenario here, unless it's my Guinness glass, which is always half empty, and needs a new one started before I get to the bottom of the one I'm drinking. Am I rambling? It is a bit like that at the moment, folks. It is a little bit like that at the moment. Right, let's have a look at how we're lining up. Now, this is kind of where I'm hoping I get a little bit of a swing back from the people that free hit it. They came out obviously of 33 and free hit it, so they're going. They're now going into maybe with just one transfer coming into this next game week 35, and they're going to be looking at their teams. I hope I'm thinking, shit, got to get Mbuma, got to get Wizard. Oh, Bowen, Tottenham at home. Some desirable assets there. Whereas I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go yet. There's a few potential thoughts. I mean, they're not going to have Cunha either, though I wouldn't want to bring Cunha in this week. But hearing the noises on the ground from Wolves, I think I may bring him in a couple of game weeks time, but not probably for City away. And I'm not doing the spreadsheet today. I haven't had time to update it. But if memory serves correct, after the City away, there's a really good run of fixtures. The lad looks brilliant. I really am kicking myself that I didn't bring him in. I double guessed myself and second guessed myself and triple guessed myself and played total head games with that, and then decided not to. It was hindsight, wonderful thing, Captain Hindsight, the wrong decision. However, what's still gone? Oh yeah, Wizard could still come good. All I need is a goal from Wizard, and I think, you know what, that actually wasn't a bad decision because I've got Wizard in now. But back to the point, assets like Bowen and Mbeumo, Wizard, and Cunha start to become very desirable assets, and it's going to be very hard for people to get to them in one or two moves. So I do anticipate we're going to see hits in 35. So I feel I'm just that little bit ahead of the game there. So maybe I might just start to get a little bit of swing back on having not had the free hit with these players already in place. And the great thing is, as I say, they have been returning for me, as you've seen, in Mbeumo and Wizard and Bowen, of course. So there may be a little bit of a swing back my way. But I look at this team, there are potentially one or two things that I would like to change for this game week. But by and large, it looks pretty good. And I just have to work out now, if we get some word on these FA Cup matches, that might help if I find out there is the double in 30 and 36. But it does look likely there is no double. I certainly haven't got any desire to bring in any Aston Villa assets. To bring in any Spurs assets. They look shocking. They don't look like they're going to score too much, and they look like they're going to concede a handful of goals. But one or two Villa assets might be interesting as they're fighting for that European place. And if I was to bring in someone, if we found out that Villa did have a double, I would, without a shadow of a doubt, look to bring in Ollie Watkins for a double. And whether I bring him in 35 or wait and just roll here, I don't know. And then I'd actually have a couple of transfers to play around with. We'll see. There's this actually a little temptation on Watkins anyways, if I'm being honest. Rashford is out. Looks like for the season. Which means that Watkins minutes are now assured. And whatever you say about Watkins, he's up there with the top scorers once again. and he is a reliable asset, and I think he's on penalties now, especially with Rashford gone. I think Ollie Watkins is starting to turn into a desirable asset, and he'll be almost a must-have if that double happens. That's probably the only transfer that I might be tempted into, but I'm not sure I would even do it for this game. Where I look at the fixtures there. Um, yeah, Palace, Forest at home. Palace are actually starting to hit a little bit of form. Starting to keep clean sheet again. Guardiola, grand, good fixture. We've got a goal in the FA Cup. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of that. Kanate, if I was to make another thought would be on a transfer, maybe to look at a defensive asset just in case of Liverpool rotation and their propensity to concede a daft goal. So I think if I was to move someone out this week, it could be Kanate, and I'd look at maybe a really good fixture with there are no bank or clean sheets. Crazy as it sounds, how about Lewis at Man? Is it Lewis? Yeah, look, Lewis at Man City. Was that a crazy thought? Crazy thought. Wolves at home. Guy's shown he's capable of getting an attacking return. Crazier things. Munoz, yeah, happy enough with that fixture. Very, very, very happy with that fixture from what I've seen of Munoz actually in the last few game weeks. Bowen, yeah, absolutely. Tottenham home. That could be your classic beach football. Talking about beach football, is beach football actually a bad thing if you have two beach football teams playing each other? Happily take a 5-4, with loose defenses and crazy passing and silly mistakes, and pick up something like one of those ones. What's that I recall? Was it Man United versus Brentford? No, it wasn't Brentford. It's a few years back. Ferguson's last title at Old Trafford. So it ended up 5-5. The league was won. They were playing someone in mid-table, and it ended up like 5-5. Happily take one of those if Bowen's involved. So the right beach football match may not be a bad thing, especially if you've got attacking talent on both sides that just want to be creative and just go for it. So I'm absolutely happy with Bowen in that, and again also very happy to a degree that we've got Mbomo playing against a shocking United team that will be heavily rotated, I think, because of the Europa League. Yeah, 100% happy with that. Salah, slight worry, if I'm being honest. I'm probably one of the bigger worries in the team, but I think at this point in time we just have to roll with it. Maybe with the League One and the pressure completely off, we might get back to a bit of old Salah. But he's just not feeling right at the moment. He got his goal yesterday. I don't think the captain's armband will be on him. I've got it on Mbumo at the moment. It actually feels a safer bet. So that's where I'm going to go with that. I have to make a decision between Barnes and Murphy. That Barnes will get minutes, no doubt about it. That Murphy will get minutes, I've got no doubt about it. It's just which one's going to get the 70, 80, 90 minutes. You know what? It's a flip of a coin. It was Murphy that came off and Barnes that stayed on in the last one. So probably just going to go with that and just keep my fingers crossed. I don't think there's a lot else I can do there. Marmoush, Wolves at home. Yeah, happy enough with that. There could be a time to move Marmoush out. But the City fixtures are good. Just would like to. He's unlucky not to get a goal or two in the cup match. To be honest with you, he does look good. He looks like at some point in the right fixture he's going to get that 17, 18, 19 point goal. So I think I just have to run with that at the moment. And I don't think it's a bad choice. I don't think it's a bad option there up front. Wizard, yeah, enough said about that. Guys on fire. Bad United defence. United rotating. Could be bad for United, and from my football support emotional aspect, but very good from the FPL aspect. And again, Isaac, Brighton, beach football, but Newcastle obviously fighting for the Champions League places. Could be a good one. Is he a captain's option? Don't know. He's another one. It's not quite going in the net for him in the way that we would like. I know he got a goal, penalty, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a penalty from the Murphy with the assist, the penalty. So that's the team. It wouldn't surprise me if some of those players on the bench go very, very well, but think that's the right 11 going out if I roll, and that is probably the decision for now. But we will find out. As I say, I'll be in Ireland in about 48-50 hours time, and hopefully be able to get online and do a quick video and update at the end of the game week, and we'll see where it all landed and just see if we have any news on those FA Cup matches and whether I need to think about a transfer or whether I just roll. Instinct at the moment is to roll because I think that's going to serve me better in the last 35, 36, last 3 game weeks. Oh my god, where has the season gone? Where has the season gone? Okay, just going to go into leagues because I will hopefully again do a Bishop Brennan Cup. The trophy is in my bag. Who knows? Someone might be close by to me and be able to pick it up. Certainly be a lot easier now than it is at the moment. Red is such the opposite at the moment to what it was last game week. It's just red, 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 red everywhere. But it's not over. It's not over yet. Where are we? Where are we? Still maintaining my #1 position in a few key leagues, except this one. I don't think I'm going to catch Jason now. Let's have a look at this. He's doing so well. He's doing so well. This was Jason's free hit team, just in case anyone is curious. So we went through this last week. I made multiple suggestions to Jason in our last session in the gym. He took my advice on some of them. Let's say the key ones. I said, don't do Palmer, no Palmer, but he went Palmer. He wanted Palmer. That's okay. He went Diaz. He went Semenyo. Fantastic. Cunha went Cunha, but I think he'd have worked that all out on his own. He's got Wizard in there as well, still to come. And obviously Isaac, but his big, brave, balls on the line call was, captaining Diaz, and didn't quite do better than Salah, but I loved it as a call because it could have paid off so big. Didn't go Sessegnon, which I had been suggesting, but he went with the double Newcastle defence, which, as you can see, absolutely paid off, an absolute treat. So he's definitely on the plus side there. And neither of the goalkeeping options. I had actually said, maybe Alisson, because he's a Liverpool supporter. Give yourself something to really shout about in the match. But he went no, and that didn't work out either. But the thing is, up to 15,000. That's just absolutely magnificent. So we targeted 15, been in the top 15,000. Didn't think it was going to get there so soon. So I guess the new target has got to be top 10,000k, maybe even top 5,000k. Lads on a roll, doing really, really well. Quick scan through the rest of these lads, and I will try and do the Bishop Brennan Cup, but there are just some stonking scores in here. That's right, lads and ladies. I'm just going to make that a wee bit bigger. My eyes are a shocker, but some of you guys are doing, and ladies, are doing it. I'm on autopilot, let's stop me. Andrew, I'm going to catch you, mate. I'm going to catch you this week. Now that's a team. I should just hopefully overtake you. But there's just loads of 80s in there. Alan, you're flying, mate. Look at you, another 86. Tom, 84. Oh, look, I think we've got Happy World of Aribo. Stephen, 95. That's absolutely superb, mate. Are you done for the week? You are, but 95, mate. That's fabulous, mate. I might catch you. I've got 3 to come. I mean, I could make a comeback from what did I say? I was on the 65. Easy. And where are you? Right, 681,000. That's going to have been a big rise for you this week. So listen, that's you're not definitively. There's a long way. There's 3 players to come, and a few others will have. Jason's got Wizard. So actually, that's going to make it. Ooh, that makes it a very, very interesting fight for the Bishop Brennan Cup this week. Very, very interesting fight indeed. I think I'll leave it at that, guys. This is going to definitely be my last one before I get on a plane tomorrow. looking at this, a lot of you are going really, really well again. Did I miss any good scores? I'm pretty sure I picked out the highest one there. So I think there's got a very interesting Bishop Brennan Cup race between Jason and Stephen. So look forward to doing that maybe on Saturday. Will it be Saturday? In lose track because I've got the match here. It shows Friday. Yeah, it'll be Saturday in England, won't it? No, won't it be? No, it'll be Thursday. Sorry, it absolutely does your head in. It will be Thursday evening in England at a humane hour. And I might just have a chance of watching that with a bit of luck. With a bit of luck. That's it, guys. A little bit of a mad ramble through my head. Thank you, by the way, for your lovely messages on the last video. So yeah, it is a tricky one. I'll be okay. It is a family member that's very, very ill, and also my mum is actually in care at the moment, and my sister who is ill would normally look after her. So I'm going to be running between for those of you in Ireland know it, between Claremorris and Castlebar, basically doing some hand holding and just giving them a bit of support and comfort. So that is going to be what I'll probably be doing for a few months, to be honest with you. So listen, guys, you're a fantastic bunch. Appreciate the support. Really appreciated those messages. And I will be back hopefully at the weekend with a pint of Guinness in my hand. All things being well. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, don't panic. Oh, I forgot the catchphrase. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.